The online quiz website I tried this time is www.FiftySneakers.com. That's 50 spelled out the word F-I-F-T-Y, sneakers, S-N-E-A-K-E-R-S.com. This site allows teachers to create online quizzes or tests that students can take anytime from home or school. Question types include multiple choice, true or false, short answer, yes or no, text block, short answer, multiple right answers, and fill in the blank. Additionally, images and videos can be uploaded to support the theme of the questions. Let's take a tour. We just talked about what 50Sneakers is. It is free, it's online, it's relatively simple to use, but it has a lot of features, so there is a bit of a learning curve. It provides teachers with an opportunity to create anything from physical worksheets, quizzes, or tests that can be printed or downloaded, or they can use an e-test or online test that allows students to take the test online and receive immediate results. The next thing we see is that it has global accessibility. You can access it from anywhere where you can access a computer. That's handy. You don't have to carry around files. And it does allow you to create and build online content libraries, which is handy if you want to use the same question on multiple tests or similar questions on multiple tests. You can store those questions for future access. It allows you to store up to 1,000 question or test items. It also allows you to upload video or images or sets of problems and format them in any way that you like. You can also go in and edit questions once they've been added to the content library. The content library is very handy in that it allows storage of a lot of information that can be accessed readily for other tests. Next, we'll look at online tests. The tests can be graded automatically if they are multiple choice, yes or no, true or false, or one-word responses. Anything longer than a single-word response would require physical grading by the teacher, and then the teacher would give responses. The tests can be timed or not. They can be automatically graded or not. That is set by the teacher. And they can be randomized to avoid over-the-shoulder cheating during class if that's a problem. Automatic grading is done based on the preset score values, so you can set the scores to anything you want on the tests, and you can change those at any time. It can be edited. You can always review and adjust. Student performance can be tracked with historical charts and reports. It automatically monitors and allows tracking of student performance, not only how the students did on the test, but how much time they spent on each question, and provides grades and ranking according to their performance and according to their peers in their classes. You can set up classes, or you can set up tests and apply tests to multiple classes. Tests can be duplicated. There are a lot of functions in there that are available. Also, student distribution graphs can be looked at for ease of use and ease of information availability there once scores are completed. Communities, you can share your test banks with other communities of other users within the software, which is handy if you want to work with multiple teachers at your school or within your district and share those test banks among you. That gives you additional resources. They can be shared globally. Anyone who uses this site can create a database of questions and share it with other users if they wish. Some of the other things, and we're going to take a quick tour here beyond this, we're going to look at some of the quick guides. There are quick guides that show how to create and update content, managing the content library, creating and printing documents, creating online tests and providing student access, and student registration and online test access. We're going to start with creating online tests and providing student access. Here's a quick guide, and this is part of the software. It's providing you with information on how to create online tests and provide student access. Once you create a test, You provide it with a title and a quick description, and then you click Save. The online test homepage looks like this. The homepage gives you a place to add content, edit content, so you would add content from your library, edit content. So if you have content that you want to make changes to, you would do that here. Add a header, you can add a footer, you can add notes, change the settings, or preview the test. The e-test has a checklist that allows you to check and make sure you've made all the adjustments you wish to. You can delete or lock the e-test in this page, and e-test can only be taken after it has been locked. You want to use the e-test checklist to verify that your test is formatted the way you want it before you lock it. Once you've locked it, there are certain things that cannot be changed once it's been locked, but it must be locked in order for it to be taken online by your students. Add content to the online test. Each content item or question selected will become a page in your pretest. When you click the Add Content button, a dialog will appear to allow you to add a score to each selected item. Once you're finished adding content, click on Selected on the e-test submenu to view all selected items. You can add points or percentage values to each item selected. You can change the values individually in the Edit Content page if you change your mind later. You can review the content in your online test and you can remove items from your test if you select one in the click on a box over here and then click Remove from e-test. That will remove that item from the test. You can refine your online content or your online test. You can view and modify each page individually, add supporting text blocks, images, or videos. You can also delete, add new, and sort pages. You can, by dragging and dropping, it's a little difficult to see on here, but there are pages displayed at the bottom here. You simply drag it to another location. If you want to change page 5 and put it between pages 1 and 2, you just drag it and drop it, and it changes the order of the questions. You can modify the existing question. You can replace the question in this page and add supporting text blocks, images, video content. You can add a title and description to the page. You can add a title and description to the page and click the Save button. You can change the grade individually and edit the content as needed. You can refine your online test by adding text blocks, video, anything that's needed to support it. You can add a header, add a text block, add content. You can add a footer. There are a lot of options here, and then you can check it by actually taking the test to make sure it looks the way you want it to look. Additionally, so instructors can create class lists of students providing user ID and passwords so students can log in and take the e-test. A better option is for the instructor to provide an instructor code and class code so students can create their own accounts and then use the self-registration option to register for the appropriate class codes. You can make your tests timed tests or not. You can set the time for the e-test in hours, minutes, and seconds. Set the scoring units and the passing grade for the test. You can set the date range for the e-test to be active and accessible only between a starting date and an ending date. And then you can preview. Before anybody can access your e-test, you have to lock it. Once you lock your e-test, you cannot unlock it. So make sure your e-test, preview your e-test, and make sure the settings are right before you lock the test. If you need to work on it again, you can clone the e-test and create another unlocked version of the e-test. Once you lock your e-test, several options become available. You can now provide access to your students using the e-test access link on the menu. The e-test public link is shown and can be given to your students for direct access to the e-test. So this creates a URL code, which you see right here. You then copy paste this URL. You can save it to your own teacher website and have your students click on that link, and then they would enter this e-test code, and then the student code that you give them or that they get when they create their online account. It's better to have students create their own online account, I've found, because when I created one, there were problems with accessing it from the student site. The e-test is available in the menus because only when it's locked, and then you can view the results of the e-test as your students take the test. You can provide access to it. They go to the e-test, they take the test, and then you can review their results at the end. One of the problems that I had with the site is that if you create a student account first and then ask the student to log on using that account at www.student.fiftysneakers.com, the site would not allow the student to log in. It asks them to create a new account and does not allow a place for students to log in using an existing account. When creating, another disadvantage was creating a new test question. Occasionally the site locks up and you could lose all of your information, so it's better to save it to a Word document first in case the site locks up and you aren't losing everything. Those are the only two suggestions I had. Otherwise, this is a very good site. It's got a lot of functionality for a free site, and I thought it was very well done.